www.facebook.com/DZRJ810am or on YouTube, channel RJ News.
Of the station.
You are watching the multi-awarded Radio Bandido TV on Channel 224 Sky Cable and TV Plus boxes, simulcast on DZRJ 810 AM, informing, advising, and entertaining the Filipinos and OFWs around the world. Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ 810 AM or on YouTube, channel RJ News. To all the Radio Bandido viewers and listeners, catch us on YouTube. Just search for RJ News PH, hit the subscribe button, and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
My name is DJ Chin. If you like goal setting and goal getting, if you like money goals, business goals, personal goals, and relationship goals, then this is the show for you. So I'd like to invite you to my show, DJ Chin's home of good, great, unstoppable generation. We air live every Saturdays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. here at Radio Bandido TV, simulcast on DZRJ 810 AM, Sky Cable Channel 224, TV Plus boxes, and free-to-air TV. You can also catch us at facebook.com/DZRJ 810 AM and also at our YouTube channel, RJ News PH. So see you guys!
Yeah, so happy International Day of Happiness to everyone. I so love the aspiration of this day, diba? We are now celebrating at least once a year an International Day of Happiness, okay? So this is actually progress, no matter how slow it is. It's still progress, and I really hope that that our policymakers can begin crafting and implementing the aspirations of this day into our laws. O diba? Sana naman magkaroon na. In a nutshell, guys, if you plan to go into politics or you are already in politics, or to everyone out there, in a nutshell, the institutional definition of this happiness is means wellness, welfare, and our well-being, diba? So if you are 100% check on all these three, that means you are blessed, and therefore you now have to go and multiply that happiness in others, okay? So yan po ang meaning of this day, and that's what we are, most of our segments today will be dedicated to that, because this is one of actually one of the 10 steps of that are being highlighted of the celebration of International Day of Happiness for 2021. Okay, so anyway, I'd like to welcome you all to my show, Good, Great, Unstoppable, the Francine de las Alas Show. I'm DJ Chin, and every Saturdays we invite you to join us in our live streaming here from DZRJ 810 AM, as well as from our TV Plus boxes, and you can also check out our YouTube channel, which is RJ News PH. And while you're there, don't also forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can be notified of fresh shows each time. Alam niyo naman dito sa RJ, we run 24/7, di ba? So aside from that, you can also like and share our page, because we not only have commentaries, we not only have news updates and other lifestyle, but we also have shows such as this, diba? Shows that plant happiness and well-being, welfare, wellness into every Pinoy's life, okay? So anyway, what is International Day of Happiness, guys? Imagine a world where everyone's welfare everyone's well-being and everyone's wellness are met. So imagine that kind of peace of mind and that kind of inner peace for everyone. But no poverty, no injustice, no inequality, no discrimination. Though I'm sure we are a long way there. I'm really, though I really prefer to be optimistic. But the good thing about this is that it has already been institutionalized. Okay. And while I was actually writing this, I was reminded of, syempre, di ba, when you know the aspiration, I personally know the aspirations of today, and I can't help but think of all the negativities in the world, and there is always a number to that. And one of the things that I actually I had the chance to see before was an interview of a professor uh, about the minority who is mostly responsible for the chaos around the world. So I believe in the numbers, whether it's success, whether it's chaos, whether it's negativity or positivity, that there is always just at least 20% or 1% or 3% in every aspect that run the world. And same with chaos, diba? Same with negativity. And syempre, it's my wish that we can rid of the world of the 20% who cause the 80% unrest of the world. Imagine, guys, ang liit-liit na number that, but they can actually wreak havoc, diba? So maybe, just maybe, when we can get rid of the 20% negativity around the world, negativity of 20% of the unrest, 20% of the chaos, just maybe, we can finally find that kind of flourishing, healthy happiness, and maybe, just maybe, this kind of fulfilling happiness can blanket the world and our minds and our hearts, diba? So today, this has been actually implemented way back, I think, in 2011 or 12, and so far I have yet to see it. I have yet to see the aspirations of the International Day of Happiness show up in our laws, diba? So anyway, what we can do for ourselves is let us not let the few who instigate chaos stop the rest of the world from living the aspirations and the fundamental right of every human being to be happy. Okay, so let us pray, not just pray, but also act for peace, and act towards gracious abundance. Okay, so if you notice, I keep qualifying. Cannot be just really all happiness, diba? Because there are some there there is a selfish form of happiness. So I'd like to reiterate the healthy kind. Again, remember, it falls under welfare, wellness, and well-being. Okay, so everyone can actually take it upon ourselves to build our own happiness and share this outside, just like what I have been doing here in our shows, PZRJ 810 AM since 2011. Okay? Tama ba? So write tama in the comment box. Okay? Now, while it is International Day of Happiness also, there are many who are celebrating their birthdays today. So I would like to give a birthday shout out to three of the happiest people I know and three of the happiest who make the world a happier, better place, not just by being who they are, but by continuing to cultivate a better self and leading everyone to also build character and build their lives. So happy, awesome birthdays to Mentor Spin, Mentors Jaylene, and Mentor Diane. Okay? So these, you know what, guys? I'm so privileged because these are individuals I've never known them from Adam, di ba? Never ko silang kilala, but I met them because of I only met them through the business basically, and just like me, these three have led thousands to uplift their life experiences and cultivate better character in each one, di ba? So dito kami natuto that You can't just be successful and have a poor, poor character. Okay, so they have created a culture of tulungan, leadership as we go through our journeys, and as we take on our life's biggest dreams and purpose. So these are the kind of people that we should be surrounding ourselves with, di ba? So to Mentor Spin, Jaylene and Diane, maraming salamat po sa inyo and more power to your goals, your dreams, your leadership, your businesses, your relationships, happiness, health, life, fulfillment, purpose, and love. Yan. Okay, so yun po ang wish ko sa inyo. So let it manifest every single day. Okay? So anyway, on the personal level, the day isn't over yet. So it's only 7:12. So the celebration of happiness must continue, di ba? And as my gift to you guys, so one of the steps of being happy, so we share. Here are a few tips on how you can be happy morning, noon, and night. Diba? Because when I was learning how to be happy myself, guys, it did not, though I was doing the exercises in the morning, every single morning, diligently, when I was still very down, it did not stick or it did not last all throughout the day. So that was one of my discoveries. And it turns out that you really have to learn how to keep picking yourself up, especially when you are in the sad zone or when you are in the laban zone, diba? When you are in the discouraged zone, you just have to keep picking yourself up. So here are at least 3 exercises that I can share with you that you can do starting tomorrow, even starting tonight, diba? Even starting tonight. So you can ritualize happiness into your day. So as you go along, if it evolves, if you come up with your own ways and your techniques, then that is much, much, much better because that is the goal. You show up day 1 and you do it diligently every single day. And along the way in that journey, you will encounter roadblocks, minor, major, and if you just keep pushing, and showing up for your happiness every single day, you will be able to climb through that obstacle and find your way to the next happiness curve. Okay, so first thing that you can do, guys, upon waking up, don't just rush towards the day. Okay, begin with an uplifting prayer and a motivational video or a motivational beat. Okay, so that's how you begin. So tomorrow, it's Sunday, it's perfect. You can practice that. When you get up, remind yourself. Maybe you can even set an alarm clock reminder tonight that when you wake up tomorrow, that one of the first thing that you're gonna do before you even hit the floor is to begin with an uplifting prayer, not just a prayer, and also a motivational video. What is an uplifting prayer? An uplifting prayer, guys, starts with an uplifting prayer. An example of an uplifting prayer is you don't start and end in the asking zone. You pray in the receiving zone. So, for example, I imagine the end of when I do an uplifting prayer. It's I imagine the kind of milestones and successes, the kind of joys, the kind of happiness that I will be roll calling at the end of the day. So a roll calling and experiencing during the whole day. So I go through each of those desirable experiences, desirable milestones, and desirable wins. And instead of saying thank you God or peace, I go thank you very much because I have experienced all these joy and all these wins and all these milestones. So that is a form of uplifting prayer. It is not in the asking zone, but it is in the receiving zone, in the gratitude zone. Okay, so that's the first thing that you have to do upon waking up. Now, of course, 7 hours later or 5 hours later upon waking up, you will hit noontime, and by noontime you're probably kind of tired and weary, maybe from your work, or from your work, or also from if you're from your home life, diba? Or maybe it can be both because you might be doing work from home, and at the same time you may be also running the household, or maybe what we call that, doing homeschool for your children. So all these stress can really really bog you down. So what you have to do is have a noontime happiness ritual. And what you can do to jumpstart your mood is you can also turn on a music, an upbeat music that makes you tap your feet or stir your soul and stir your mind. Okay, stir your mind where? Stir your soul where? Towards a direction where you want it to go. Okay, so because sometimes like for me, music can go. These mood music can go both ways. It can make you feel so good that you just want to chillax the rest of the day. But in the meantime, that might cause you more stress if you put off the tasks that you have set out to do. So so what you have to do is, if you're going to use an upbeat music to jumpstart you from noontime onwards, you have to also be mindful that that jumpstarting must lead you. The jumpstarting music must be lead you and take you to your next task or to your next goal. Okay, so let these sounds play till your mood is hinged on a feel good, and as I said, can help you get back to the next part of your day. So you've got your morning happiness ritual routine. Now you've got your noontime. Then, of course, to complete the day, you've got your nighttime happiness ritual or happiness routine. So before you sleep, guys, this is just gonna be short. Just get a piece of paper and write down the best parts of your day. Focus on that only. And if you can only come up with one, that's fine. Diba? But the goal is to evoke gratitude and gratitude and happiness. So can't find one. Go through your the tiny miracles that you have each day, and these tiny miracles are, you're alive. Can you imagine being gone suddenly at this moment, diba? But you're not, and you're still there. Can you imagine not being able to hug your children or say I love you to your loved ones at this moment? But the thing is, you're there. You're able to do all these things. So my tiny miracles, the tiny because meaning miracles that I don't normally get to mindfully notice, but when I go into the now and appreciate them, I get to realize how powerful these miracles are. And this is, just by being here, diba? Just by being able to use my hands and walk, and just by being able to just by being able to do the things, right, that only do the things, just by being animated, diba? Being animated by someone, by higher power, that to me is a miracle. So if you don't have any best parts of your day milestone, you can go into these tiny hidden miracles, okay? Because these tiny, well, it's kind of oxymoronic because you don't notice them, but when you go into the zone where you really watch how you get animated by the higher power, you will actually see how you can actually you'll realize how mind-blowing it is to keep you alive, diba? To keep you moving. Okay, so so these are the 3 happiness rituals that you can do for the day, and this is my gift to you. And I hope that I hope that not only do they work, but you can make it work. See, guys, the most important part of these 3 gifts that I'm sharing with you, it isn't about the exercise itself. It is about showing up and finding your way to each of these moments, diba? So in that moment where you find yourself in the moment of state of happiness, not just being happy. Okay, so go in there every day, morning, noon, and night, go in there and retrieve the happiness that was meant for you. Retrieve your happiness for the day. So and share that good vibe with your family and your peace and your peers anywhere from here and anywhere around the globe. Okay. So again, morning, noon, and night, and then let this energy of happiness work itself into your life. Okay, because you know what, it will because happiness is a self-correcting mechanism. It won't stand for any of the ugliness in our lives, mind, body, heart, spirit, and life wise. So if you do let happiness find a way into your life, it will start forcing you to correct healthily. Okay? Correct healthily the things that need to be corrected. Okay? So that is my happiness gift to you today on the day of International Day of Happiness. Okay? So, um, as far as this International Day of Happiness is concerned, worldwide wise, we know that uh, they celebrate this every single year. And for 2021, they have missions, okay? And I lifted a few of my favorite missions that we can actually implement on a personal level, meaning we don't have to wait for the government to implement these policies. O, diba? Dapat masaya tayo. Can you imagine? In fact, these trumps all, if we look into the aspirations of International Day of Happiness, because it's meant for welfare, wellness, and well-being, carry niya lahat, di ba? Pati yung International Women's Day, carry niya yung International AIDS Day because it falls under wellness, it falls under being able to take care of ourselves and our society. So, but as I said, it's been since 2011. It's been almost 9 years or 10 years, and so far, I have not, as I said, I've not seen it. I have not seen these institutionalized into our laws. But so these are the missions that I love the most. See, one of the mission is that happiness can be a way. This mission number 3, that happiness can be a way of living, being, and serving the communities and society. My favorite part here is not just living, okay? Being, because being means it's your state, it's your behavior, and it's also your character. And that is probably the one of the unexplored, diba? Unexplored and unexplored and and also we have the least information and least programs on how we can actually achieve the beingness of happiness, diba? Of the beingness of happiness. But you know what, guys? As I said, if you let happiness find its way into your life, it's going to keep correcting every aspect that needs to be corrected. That's why I am in this show, diba? I have been doing this show because this is I'm actually this is a byproduct of that process. I love, diba? I love the lessons in my life of the happiness lessons in my own life. And I love that, and my calling has always been, I guess, to teach people to become better versions of themselves and to help people build their lives into at least, if not luxurious living, at least comfortable and decent living. So if I ignored that, I would be very, very. If I kept ignoring that, I would be unhappy and probably miserable because I won't be doing the thing, my own calling or my own passion, diba? So that's what that is what I meant by, if you let happiness find its way into your life, it will correct everything that needs to be corrected, from financial wellness to your personal purpose and calling, to your relationship, to your family relationship, your professional direction. It will correct all those things. So mission number 3. So we can do this. So this is so remember that this is what we have to try to attain. That happiness becomes our way of living, our way of being, and that it will also guide us to serve the communities and society. Because you know what, guys, that is the nature of happiness. When you have reached that part where you have achieved it as a way of living and a way of being, it will naturally find a way to give back. So, di ba, maganda. And the only reason why we tend to not share our resources because we are still mired in the unhappiness zone, di ba? In the ugly zones of life. You're very stuck there. 99% of everyone is stuck there. Now, mission number 4, guys, is that happiness becomes the North Star for individuals. So, guys, why do you follow negativity when we know that being happy is the calling of our inner soul, diba? So here it's part of the mission of the international of this is institutionalized happiness. So it says here that let happiness be the North Star for individuals, government, communities, and societies. Diba? So since a government does not know how to do this, and before it can even reach communities and societies, happiness has to begin with us. So guys, okay, you can start with being mindful about your state of happiness and state of happiness and the happiness that you want to achieve, diba? So what is that? What does it fall under? What are those forms of healthy happiness? Remember, guys, even if I don't even say healthy, let's say you do take on your selfish form of happiness, it's still going to be karmic, diba? It's still going to cause a lot of roadblocks and a lot of miseries for you. So that's if it keeps doing that, that means you are ignoring your happiness. So what you have to do is get into so in other words, happiness will really force you to correct that, because you know what? One of the things that I have discovered is that every human being in the planet, the destiny is to become fulfilled, to become happy genuinely. Okay, so you can start by happiness as a North Star. It's a given. You know that you want to be happy. Everyone wants to be happy. But what is not a given is knowing where our happiness state is, or what is the level of happiness that we have in our lives, and the level that we want to go to. So we have to bridge that gap. And every single day, guys, it is in fixing, diba? It is in fixing these areas that need work on happiness that we have to do every single day. Let it be a personal mission for you to become happy, so you can establish the covenant of God here on earth, because that is your destiny. You're not meant to be poor. You're not meant to be unhappy. You're not meant to be broken. You are meant to prosper. You are meant to become an agent of change, an agent of God here on earth. Okay, I'm not making that up. It's just that the nature of happiness works that way. So whether you like it or not, if you let your happiness work into your life, it's really going to go in that direction of fixing you up and your life. Okay, so mission number 6 is another one, and that we can do for ourselves. It says here, happiness becomes the new paradigm for human development. Okay, let's not go into human development. Happiness, take that not only should you work on your happiness, but you work also towards making happiness as your paradigm in your life. Okay, now before you can even paradigm, meaning you can begin with fixing the way you think, fixing how you feel, fixing the areas of your life. You can begin there. Okay, because everything else, this is a large scope. But as a paradigm, let it guide your thinking, let it guide your feelings, let it guide your behavior, let it guide your decision, let it guide your choices, and let it guide in the building the let it guide in the let it be the guiding principle in the structures of your life or the pillars of your life. Okay? So yan. O, diba? So if we cannot find these if we cannot find these institutionalized, guys, I'm very sure, just like how I have learned these on my own, that these can be um, integrated into our life and into our beingness. Okay, so what do you do, guys? I guess I'm, in other words, guys, it's International Day of Happiness, and I'm just following the steps that they want, now they want to promote it this 2021. So, what is the message of the International Day of Happiness? Okay, there are at least 9, but I chose the 6. I chose 7 out of the 9 that we can actually do on our that we can mindfully do on our own every single day. Okay. First, we have to tell everyone. We have to promote being happy every single day. Okay. And not only that, we have to tell everyone about being happy. Tell everyone how to be happy, or how you have found your way to being happy. You have to keep telling everyone. You can post it in your social media, whether it's Facebook, it's IG, or you can post it in Twitter, any social media account, or maybe in your story, di ba? So just you have to tell everyone. That is the message of International Day of Happiness. Why do we have, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to, it's like a chain, diba? It's like a chain message, or it's like a message or aspirational message. So the more that we think, feel, behave, make decisions and choices towards healthy happiness, and the more that others know about it, the more others are inspired about it, the more that energy of happiness can uh, um, can be picked up, and the more that it can pass it on, diba? So I'm thinking maybe that should be a social experiment, diba? If everyone in the world starts doing this every single day and mindfully do this 24/7, diba? 24/7, and nobody's breaking that chain, and nobody's breaking that happiness chain. What I wonder, what is the positive effect of that worldwide, diba? So the second message of International Day of Happiness, this instrument, is you have to do you have to do you have to do happiness. Okay, what does that mean? You have to do the things that make you happy. Again, guys, healthy kind of happiness. Okay, so for example, if you're healthy kind of happiness, that means you're not going to steal if you're hungry and you have to make money. That means racket ka and you will solve long term your problem. What else? That means you're going to mindfully be kind to your partners, to your children, diba? Or you're going to or that means you're going to enjoy 1 hour, 1 hour of the 1 hour of the day for yourself. Give yourself some me time, diba? So do things that will make you happy. So again, the message of International Day of Happiness is you tell everyone, diba? Tell them ways on how they can be happy, diba? Tell them your practice of being happy. Second, you do the things that make you happy. And the third, you give. Study shows, guys, that if you give, that giving actually makes you can is a way. It's Giving is a source of happiness. Okay. I remember, I don't know if I told you this story, di ba? Uh, okay, let's not go back to that story. But right now, it's an experience. You know, um, I have been giving since a time we were since a time when we had nothing, diba? And it became a personal promise because one of the things that I realized every time there was a disaster that we were always not able to help because we were so poor. As I said, sampung kahig kalahating tuka yung life namin, diba? And but that actually did not stop me. And that time when we started with 20 pesos, I made a what I call the philanthropic matrix, di ba? My covenant. And I said to myself that I'm going to have first, of course, a daily community. I have the disaster community, charitable organization community, and I also have I don't remember, but there were four or five, di ba? So, so anyway, I would roll that out, di ba? And you know what? That was in 2009. In 2009. And now I have already diverted, diba? I have recalibrated the communities that I we give donations to or that we help. And right now I'm really very happy that from the time that we were broke and had nothing and started with 20 pesos, diba? Now there is a community that we are able to give to every single month, diba? So we either every single month and every single month. And when I when I think about it, and when I go through diba, when I go through that process, when I started with nothing and now we have this daily community that we serve every month, that feeling of being pleased, diba? And being pleased, and that feeling of how far we have come, and that feeling of gratitude for not making no money as an excuse to help, diba? Are my sources of joy, diba? So right now, the things, diba, it makes you feel good to be able to say it's a good thing I didn't make no money as an excuse to help. Diba? So I really forced that into our financial wellness plan, into our financial wellness goal. And I'm really, really, really very happy because we are better than before, and it's now in terms of giving, and we have and happier still because we are now able to give consistently. So there are, grabe, actually hindi ko na siya, ayoko siyang i-compute kasi sa totoo lang, mas malaki pa siya dun sa, I don't know how it happens, di ba? Kasi even before, I remember, I only started with 20 pesos because we're not even sure if we could find 20 pesos in our household, di ba? In our income, because we were really, 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 wow, lower than the bottom, bottom. The house that we have was only a gift from God, but He did not give us money to pay the monthly amortization, the juice, the food, the bill. So I don't know, but for some reason, because I stuck to that as a promise, I will give. For some reason, every time I went out, I would reserve 20 pesos, but we usually ended up giving at least 60 pesos out to three different people, three different individuals that we either helped or helped or said thank as a way of saying, gave us service, and it as a way of saying thank you. So I don't know where those 60 pesos or 80 pesos would come from every single day, pero hindi ko siya problema, and it's the same now, diba? Our funds are not huge, diba? But for some reason, without sacrificing any, merong pumapasok that allows us to continue with that service. So guys, give, even if it's just 5 pesos a day, diba? For as long as you commit to giving, I promise, and we commit to wanting to become an instrument of change and of love and of sharing. I'm sure somewhere, somehow, especially if you let happiness work into your life, it will you will find yourself someday helping bigger communities. And you might even, what might even be more amazing and might even give you more happiness is that, like me, you might not know how you are able to do it, diba? So that's the fun in that. So that means it's already miracle, diba? That yeah, it's a miracle on our end why we are able to continue that. Okay? So now, am I excited every time? Because yung mga communities namin are on the week, of course, diba? Because I know that it makes them happy, diba? And that's one of the best gift of all. So what else? The other message of International Day of Happiness is instrument is celebrate. So celebrate happiness, celebrate this day, diba? Celebrate, promote the page, diba? Do whatever it is to celebrate your own happiness. Then share the idea, share the concept, I guess it's like telling everyone, share share anything that everything that you can that has got to do with being happy. Then number 6, enjoy nature, because studies show that nature can actually calm you, diba? And calm is an aspect of being happy. In fact, guys, once you have reached the state of happiness, hindi na siya yung giddy happiness that you're forever smiling. It's a state that even if you have problems, and thank you God, diba? Problems, you kind of know how to navigate your way through it, diba? Without breaking down. And I think that's the most important state level and skill level. But in my case, guys, I actually know what's going to really, really break my happiness. And I really pray to God that I never come to that mode. I think it's also important that that there is a happiness breaker, and it's usually the extreme form. Now once you actually have what you call that, gotten hold of 24/7 happiness, and because it's extreme, it's most likely just in your head. Right? So you don't really bother yourself with it. But if you really want to take care of that extreme side, I guess you can set up parameters as well. Diba? So that's what happiness does. It gives you, also helps you when you are 24/7 happy, and it's a skill level and state level. Solutions are, it's always outside the box kasi. Being happy, one of the things that you will learn is that it always operates outside the box, outside the comfort zone. So you become so skilled at it. So even when you have extreme worries, diba, or some problems that might come your way, you already can come up with the solutions even before it arrives. Okay. So number 7, adopt. This is the first time I have encountered this word. Adopt capitalism. Normally, you have heard the word capitalism. Capitalism, I guess, from the word is how can you, I guess, what it wasn't. I don't remember if it was defined there, but I guess how can you make the world work, right? How can you engage the world economy, your economy alongside with the happiness of the rest of the world. So that means economy and environment, that kind, economy and society, diba? Economy and health. So economy and welfare, economy and well-being, economy and wellness. How can you put them all together? So that's why I'm saying it's really a long shot from there. But what I'm saying is there are things that can begin with you and that can begin with me. Okay, the 2 others, you have to promote the UN resolution. You can find that. Just go to International Day of Happiness. What is that resolution about? Push maybe your policymakers to craft the laws and let it and have them implemented. And then, of course, advance the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So maybe these 2 are medyo on the technical side of this instrument. But nevertheless, guys, we can do we can do this in our own way, diba? So diba maganda? So again, the mission, the message of International Day of Happiness. Go and tell everyone, do things that make you happy, give, celebrate, share, enjoy nature, adopt capitalism, and the last to promote this UN resolution, and also advance the Sustainable Development Goals being pushed by United Nations. So ayan, diba? So very institutional yung dating niya. So anyway, so I hope you guys think about this. It's just like being wealthy, guys, happiness does not happen overnight. Don't ever think that happiness is there is such a thing as 24/7 genuine happiness. And most of the time, diba, unless in extreme circumstances, but most of the times in normal circumstances, it's once you reach a state, it is unbreakable. Okay, you may have problems, but again, you can solve it, diba, or navigate it or manage it. You learn that skill, and then at the same time, so what I'm saying is it's highly, highly, highly achievable, and highly and can be lasting, because it can be a 24/7 state. Okay, so yeah, that is all about International Day of Happiness. Now we still have what we call that, 13 minutes to go. So our conversation today is just going to be very, very short, and it's still about this book, Jump-Starting Your Priorities. Okay, so this is it's still very much aligned with the message of International Day of Happiness, because being happy starts also with priority. It also starts with priorities, and also starts with our attitude. I remember before, guys, although I was down and out, but when I go and try to recall that moment, I really, really, really remember how I can picture and remember how I was physically and emotionally and mentally and cognitively that time. And you know what, guys? Though I was so much in pain emotionally, diba, and spiritually, though I was in so much pain emotionally, I remember that I did not want to be. I remember that I no longer wanted to be there. And I remember that even if I were in that painful state, I could hear myself saying, I just want to be happy. And every single day, guys, I did not even know that I was building the technology of happiness, or building the pillars of happiness, the one that I'm talking about, not the ones that the world know. I did not even know, but I would just do every single day actions for being happy. And there were days, I remember, that as I said, it did not stick, but it was the attitude that I will find myself into that space of being happy, diba? It was that attitude that got me there every single day. And before I know it, guys, I remember I remember also when I was already emotionally okay, and I was mentally and cognitively okay. My behavior was okay already. I was still the only woundedness left in me was that there's like a spiritual hole inside me that was not closing. But because I already worked my way from day one, diba? And in the process, I found many different modalities, many different tools, and I discovered also myself, and I was able to set myself up. So when that last bastion of hopelessness, when I was left inside of me, it was just so easy, because I remembered I just wrote it in my prayer, diba? In my journal my prayer journal, and I said, "Thank you, God, that you will give me someone who's going to yank this fool out of my soul." And you know what? I met my Reiki master, I don't know how long. Immediately after that, and I met my Reiki master. And Reiki is about energy healing. It's a very spiritual. It's a very spiritual tool and modality, because you have to meditate and like pray every single day for the next 21 days. After that, guys, I was completely okay. So, but then again, it won't happen unless you prioritize it, and it won't happen unless you and nothing none of your forms of happiness is going to happen if you don't prioritize it, or and if you don't have the attitude for it. So remember, day one last time is that we are going to describe, right, our attitude for that day, and write a declaration, right, and a commitment that we will keep a positive attitude, a positive attitude that you will work on for that day, or maybe for every single day, and you're going to have that signed, right? So how many of you did that? Ako, guys, parang hindi ko siya ginawa. Bakit na ba? Yeah, I did not do that because I forgot right after the show, kasi I already went to my yummy yummy dinner. But I'm picking it up again. So that's one of the pitfalls, diba? So I also experienced that. I forgot. So I need this to be able to continue going after my Usana goals. Okay, so now we're on day 2. And on the day 2, okay, as far as attitude is concerned, he says, John Maxwell says that each of us, okay, must take responsibility for our own attitude. Okay, so we must make it our priority to take charge of how we feel and how we think, or how we look at our lives, or our goals, our dreams, our community, or the people around us. It is our responsibility, or the events around us. Diba? It's our responsibility on how we will perceive them, especially in this COVID times. But there's so many people that can really, 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 really sound and feel negative, or can make you feel negative. And it's up to us. It's our responsibility to learn how to re-perspectivize that, right? Look at it from another angle and another point of view that will be healthier, and that can help, that can also be more productive, diba? So he says everybody has at least a few areas in our thinking and our attitude and our feelings that need work. So so the exercise for today, if you forgot to make a personal commitment on the thought that you want to work on, or on the positive feeling, or positive feeling that you want to work on, write that, whatever is that thought, and make it, and have someone sign that. And then second, this is our other day 2 exercise. Make a list of all the negative attitudes. O, diba, list na naman. I told you guys, when I was being happy, one of the things that I discovered on my own, making a list. Diba? So you have to make a list of all the negative attitudes and habits and that you want to improve. All right? And next to each one, write the positive responses that you will take responsibility for. Okay, guys, you know what? My negative thinking and my negative attitude is I am not good enough. And one of the things and beside it, I have to write, I am enough. I am enough right now, and I am meant to become greater. So yun, I will, another one that I wrote here is I always fail, right? My existence and my whole life, it's the default of my life, it's to fail. But come to think of it, ito yung sabihin ko, because you're still alive. Yeah? Because the things that I want to do are in the unknown, are outside the comfort zone. So naturally, there will be learning curves. Naturally, there will be failures, and there will be learning curves. So I cannot get to my learning curves if I don't go to the trial and error phase. So that's my positive thought to my default is of me. My default and my life default is always failing. So mine is just do it, move forward, because only then, because it's a first time every single time. Whatever it is, it may be the same goal, but it may seem like the same action or same strategy, or same strategy, and but always there the experiences will differ, the experiences will vary, the milestones might be the unexpected one, diba? But but no matter what, the only way to find all these rocks and nuggets of joy is to go through it, so you can find your learning curve and the next step, the much improved step for the more improved step towards your goal. Okay, so that is our homework. So maybe you should get a notebook for this, diba? And let's do it together. What's your goal? Me, my goal is of course to work on our USANA business, make it prosper. Of course, I want to be diamond director, so that means I want to earn $4,000 a week, because that's our peace of mind. That's the income that my husband can happily retire, diba? That can secure his peace of mind. And because I love my husband, this is the gift that I want to give him. He's been working far too long and is already too tired. Second, I also want to have a healthy weight, diba? I also want to be able to work out every day. So those are my goals. And I know that, so financial wellness and health and wellness goals. So those are my goals, and my big whys is, of course, myself and my husband, my family. So you guys, you find your goals also, and that's the only way that you can actually build very solid attitude, and that's the only way that you will be able to also find the right kind of priorities that will set up each of your pillars of happiness. Because otherwise, you know what, otherwise you can have a good attitude, but if you don't have a goal, you don't have a dream, and that's not your platform, diba? And you're just doing it, you're just applying your good attitude in the typical ordinary priorities, the one that don't improve any of the aspects of your happiness, then ano ba tawag yan? That's superficial happiness. That's superficial happiness, and it's not going to parang sayang lang yung effort mo mag-attitude. So if mag-attitude ka, you want good attitude, you want to solidify that in your life, in your discipline, and in your habit, apply these exercises that I'm leaving with you through goals. So it can be financial wellness goals, it can be philanthropic goals, it can be health goals, beauty goals, diba? Kasi there. Okay? So anyway, it's already 7:59, and my message for you today, guys, is that happiness is 24/7. Genuine happiness is real. Okay? There is that state of happiness where it is unbreakable, and it is a solid, and it transforms into a solid form of inner peace and a form of peace of mind. Okay, so we have to work on that, and once I work on that, so that we can become our own instruments of change that can help the world change as well. Once you have attained that, guys, you will either find your calling or find a platform, a vehicle that will allow you to be that instrument. So in my case, guys, I started with a happiness clinic, with my shows and giving talks about being happy. But along the way, I was also pursuing the last unanswered pillar of my happiness, which is financial wellness. But the vehicle led me to our USANA business, and I still get to teach others how not only to become better versions of themselves, but also how they can uplift their lives And not only that, and how to also multiply these effects on others. Okay, so that is true happiness. So guys, build your happiness. Start with happiness begins with us, and it can be also your goal. And if it's a goal, you can apply job starting our priorities, the attitude, diba? Solidifying our attitude so we can work on our priorities into building your own personal happiness. Okay. So anyway, this is DJ Chin, and I'm gonna see you again next Saturday for another episode. So for another episode, guys, the cases of COVID is now 8,000. Nakasalalay, utang mo sa akin ang buhay mo, utang ko ang buhay ko sa'yo. So let's take care of each other. Let's do what is safe and healthy and smart for everybody's sake, and so that we can take COVID-19 out of our country and out of our space. Okay, so we can get back up na right away and build. Okay, so this is DJ Chin saying good night and maraming salamat. See ya!